picture being copied. It slowly loses its originality as more copies gets passed on along, losing the past.
Mm-hmm. Draw the parallels for you. And the other, which is effective, and basically in evolutionary force. So that's a brief history of Benjamin. But previously to that, actually, he wrote this and many other essays. His famous essays are about the meaning of art and artistic production in the time of mechanical reproduction. When you can have cheap reproductions of any works of art, either through posters or through casts, etc., what is the meaning of art? Because art is supposed to be unique and a work of a long time and a product of an original creative mind, etc. So what it means basically to have the ability to buy cheap copies of something, right, reproductions, when art basically should be and is expensive and only affordable, only can be afforded by very few, etc., etc. So all these concerns actually. Then of course his famous study of the practically the first global / European attempt at creating some kind of commercial public space, the shopping mall, which is the arcade project in Paris in the 19th century, etc. So he basically was like many humanists of his time, interested in a lot of issues and wrote about them. So let's hear you, what you got from Benjamin's essay and how you understood history, the relationship of history to the present, and well, if you need to go back to the age of history, right? And this redemption, I'm interested in this theological dimension of his essay.
I was most struck by the sentence, for every image of the past that was not recognized by the present as one of its own concerns, threatens to disappear irretrievably. I was interested in...
that is in 2, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or...
in entry 2 or...
5.
Oh, 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. The true picture of the past flits by. The past can be seized only as an image which flashes up at the instant when it can be recognized and is never seen again, right? And then further in that same paragraph, for every image of the past that is not recognized by the present as one of its own concerns threatens to disappear irretrievably.
I see a connection between that, as well as the in the book we were talking about the work of mechanical reproduction. How it talks about the aura and how because you can reproduce images at such a rapid rate, it deteriorates the value of art and of the it destroys the whole process of making art and instead of having this tedious making using the old days of making like pictures with complicated 3D materials, you can just use computer-generated graphics these days.
It's even faster nowadays.
Yes,
right?
It's even faster than him now.
Yeah.
So the truth will not run away from means the first sentence is the true picture of the past whizzes by only as pictures, which flashes its final farewell in the moment of its recognizability. So the very instance of that picture being copied, it slowly loses its originality as more copies gets passed on along, losing the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, its originality in the sense of if you refer to the essay of mechanical reproduction versus and art. Here he talks about history, right? The image is basically less of art, but more of the image of the past that in our memory, right?
Yes.
Or in the collective memory of humanity, which he's more interested in, right? And he doesn't really, he's not interested in distinguishing between personal and collective memory as Foucault does in the other essay, right? So let's just stick to the universal image of history for the sake of reading this essay, right? So, Kima, what do you think is significance of this quote that you gave us? Every image of the past that is not recognized by the present as one of its own concerns threatens to disappear irretrievably. And what is the consequence of this disappearance then?
Well, I don't know exactly what the consequence would be, but it just reminded me of the lexicon of mythology. Which is concerned that if people didn't make it a sort of aspiration to remember these things from their past, that it would disappear completely, and people would just, like, the present would be grafted onto like 50 years ago, and there would be this void in history, and how easy it is to create that void.
That's a very good association. And then she basically, what she participated in and what she instigated is specifically the capturing of that past in small entries like images, right? Because it is a lexicon, there are a lot of pictures, photos, and then there, Alex, I'm sure, explained you the iconography, the iconographic approach to the lexicon, right? That's his field, so I'm sure he was, very eloquent on that. Exactly, right. So they captured it in a specific way. One of the problems, for example, with such projects and with the project of the lexicon per se, is it possible to reflect on the past, to reflect on not only the good and bad of past, but to reflect critically on an image? Or, no, it is possible for us to reflect on an image, pardon me. Is it possible for an image to be a critical reflection of something without us basically inscribing the meaning?
Oh, to detach the meaning from the picture and just look at it.
Just to look at the picture, right?
Yeah.
And if we, for example, didn't care about critical approach to anything, right? Could we infer the critical reflection of the past from that particular image?
Sure, because history repeats itself. And so an image is just a capture history of whatever is going on. So if, you don't even have to compare it to a picture, you can even look at paintings or something that has been done 2,000 years ago and still relate to it. Because the sort of details might have changed, but the concept of whatever's going on hasn't.
So what Foucault would say, actually, the truth of that history, right, would be the same, right? Did you have an association? No?
I'm trying to be an asshole and think of something that's against you.
Okay.
But not about this topic, but could you quickly explain historical materialism real quick?
Okay. What he has
kind of
in mind
important.
basically is Marx here, right?
Yeah.
And when we say materialist approach to anything, what does it mean?
Just commodities.
Okay, in commerce, in economy, right? In
Dehumanization of human beings.
In history, vis-a-vis historical approach.
Well, I don't know about that, but Marx would be the fetishism of commodities. And so it would be basically, seeing the objects as they are, not seeing the work that's done behind them, not seeing that, those objects only have value because we place value on them. So
That's Marx's critique of commodification.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, worshiping the object for the some kind of value that only we see in the object,
Yes.
right? Well, take this. Basically, it's meaningless unless we say, I paid like whatever $10,000 for it. I waited for 5 days in line for my new iPhone, right? Therefore, it has meaning and value for me. Dima?